Learn how you can get involved with the Building Bridges program from one of its active volunteers. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning with the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on the Greater Florence Chamber of Commerce's Building Bridges program. And we're visiting with Randy Altman, one of the volunteers for the Greater Florence Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for coming down this morning.
Good to be here.
I wish we'd traveled up to Florence to be up there this week, but we've had so much going on down here. I really appreciate you making the effort to get down here early this morning.
Okay, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
A lot going on in Building Bridges. The Greater Florence Chamber of Commerce is hopping right now.
Got a lot of things going on, yeah. Working on the Building Bridges program, as well as working on the Leadership Florence program that's in the works now also.
Yes. Are y'all revamping Leadership Florence? Or
Leadership Florence will be starting in September.
Okay.
It's a 9-month program that takes a day out of each month, and you go different places, visit different areas. We go to plants, then you have education day, you go to schools and stuff like that. It's a very interesting course.
It's just one day a month for 9 months.
For
Tremendous.
9 months. But it's a full day. It's a full 8, 9, 10-hour day.
Great. Now, are you a graduate of Leadership Florence?
Graduated from Leadership Florence this past year.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. What was that? It was pretty exciting?
It was an exciting course. Got to meet a lot of people. We had 32 graduates, I think it was, 32 people of very different backgrounds in the community involved in the program. Met a lot of good people, made a lot of good contacts, made a lot of good friends. So it would be something that I would advise or suggest that anybody would do in the community if they want to get involved and learn about the area. And it was very exciting, and like I said, I enjoyed it every session of it.
That's fantastic. We want to talk more about Leadership Florence. Of course, we really want to talk about Building Bridges, but if a viewer wanted to learn more about either of those programs, what's the best number? Is it the Chamber's number to call?
The Chamber's number is 843-665-0515.
Okay.
And the lady that works at the Chamber that handles those two programs is Jerry Madison.
Jerry Madison, okay.
And you could contact her at the Chamber. I think it's FlorenceSCChamber.com.
Correct. Okay, FlorenceSCChamber.com. Yeah, they've had a lot of accolades. They've been working hard on that Chamber website.
Yeah.
Get a lot of traffic there as well.
Right.
That's exciting. Real quick about yourself, Randy. Are you originally from the area?
I'm originally from Hemingway, born and raised right 25, 30 miles from here.
Great. Is that in Williamsburg County?
Right in the edge of Williamsburg County. That's true. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's exciting. What brought you to Florence County?
I was born, like I said, born and raised in Hemingway. Got into the banking business a little over 25 years ago. Went through a training program with one of the bigger banks in Florence. Went back to the Williamsburg area. Worked in Hemingway for 17 years with a bank down there, and then I moved back to the Florence area about 14 years ago, but I drove back and forth working with a bank in Hemingway at the time.
Is that right?
About 2 years ago, I changed and went to work with Anderson Brothers Bank, and that's when they opened the office in Florence, and I was approached by them to come aboard with them and open that office for them there, and been very successful there, doing a real good job. Been there about 2 years.
Great.
Bank's done real well. Doing real well in Florence.
Anderson Brothers Bank is based out of Mullins,
South Carolina. Yeah, it's third generation ownership now. Actually is owned by Anderson Brothers. Started in 1933.
Wow.
We're now located in 10 different towns with 16 different offices.
16 branch locations. Wow.
Stretching from Florence to North Myrtle Beach.
That is tremendous.
Yeah.
Now, would y'all be considered a community bank,
Yes,
Randy?
we're considered a community bank.
10 different communities.
And,
It's, I mean, y'all are really making a difference in a very large community there.
Yeah, we're still trying to keep the community bank image also, and be very accessible to the public.
And how many locations do y'all have there in Florence County?
We have, well, actually in Florence County, we have 2 locations. We have one in Johnsonville,
Right.
and we have the one in Florence. And anticipating, which we've already purchased property out on Cashua Drive, where the new Celebration Center is going,
Right.
to probably start a new office out in that location the latter part of this year.
Mm-hmm. Golly, 16 branch locations, 10 different communities y'all are serving. You must be, and you said the bank's been around how long?
Since 1933.
Is that right?
1933.
What's that like working with a community bank, Randy?
It's a lot less complicated, I guess you could say. We have a problem as far as decisions on loans, or you don't have to meet with committees. They hire us, and they give us a lot of leeway to actually run that office and make the decisions. But if we have any problems and need to call anybody, we actually call David Anderson, who's the president of the bank, that can give us the answer we need right then. We don't have to wait for committee meetings, which makes it easier.
Yeah, there have been some great community banks founded in the PD and continue to flourish. And it's amazing to see how well they operate and cohabitate together. And some of them have been relatively new, and then some of them are very old or been around a heck of a long time.
Yeah.
We've got a community banker coming in tomorrow to be with us here, Tommy Bouchette, who heads up Sun Bank, which was founded about 5 years ago. And of course, Tommy will be talking about both community banking as well as a merger that they've just entered into with South Carolina Bank and Trust.
Right. Yeah. Tommy and I went to the South Carolina Bankers School many years ago together. I know Tommy's,
go ahead. Yeah.
Tommy's a good man.
He is.
Yeah, nice fellow.
Yeah, we're excited to get him back in. What do you all do at the South Carolina Bankers School? What goes on there? What do you have to learn about banking?
It's actually a school that's a 3-year course. You go there for 2 weeks out of the summer, and then you have home study courses, home study problems that you do, and you actually one of the things is you actually run a bank, and you have a team, and you have different officers, different people play different roles in the bank, and you actually run the bank over a period of time and actually get graded on that. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting to do.
That must be exciting. There is a lot to banking. I think a lot of folks just think it's, buying and selling money.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I remember Tommy was with us about a year ago. We were down in Brook Green Gardens, and he talked to us about some of the critical things you all have to go through as you prepare for a loan.
Yeah.
These 5 C's I think you talked about.
Yeah.
And you all must go through a series of things that when you're trying to make decisions.
Yeah, it's not a simple yes/no thing. You have to look at a lot of financials, a lot of projections, and come up with whether you think it's feasible for the bank to make that loan, and whether it would be a money maker for the bank.
Mm-hmm. You really have to go through a lot. And speaking of things you have to go through a lot of tough decisions on, it was not a tough decision to get involved in Leadership Florence, was it?
No, I was very interested in getting involved in the program. When we first came to Florence, we joined the chamber, and one of the guys that actually works with me has gone through the program 2 years ago, working with another bank here in town. We hired him when we came to Florence, but he told me he enjoyed it, and I didn't have any reservations after I got involved in it. We went over to, actually went to Camp Coker and spent the night, which wasn't a whole lot of fun when we first got there. No hot water.
Oh yeah. No.
The ladies didn't have a mirror in the restroom, but I think that was those 2 days that we got to spend there kind of brought the 32 people together as a group, and got to know one another better by doing that.
That's great thinking. Now, having grown up in Williamsburg County, you were part of the PD Area Council, Had you traveled? Had you gotten involved in scouting growing up?
I went to the scout cabin one time. I rode my bike there and rode it back. My mom told my dad, she said he'll be back in 30 minutes, and I was. I guess. My brother was, so he was very involved in it.
So he was heading up to Coke or something.
Yeah.
We had another banker down at the beach a couple weeks ago. David Harwell from Florence was honored by the PD Area Council of the Boy Scouts as the Distinguished Citizen of the Year, and Governor Beasley, former Governor Beasley, was down to present the award to him. Another bank, I think they've got a community bank.
Yeah, Carolina Bank.
Carolina Bank. Do they have a presence in Florence as well?
Yeah, they're right out on the Timmonsville Highway, right outside of Florence. Yeah.
It's amazing to see, again, some of these community banks. I think there's one in Dillon, Carolina Community Bank.
Yeah.
A lot of folks that have launched community banks. I think recently a group's been moving out of the beach, First Reliance. Another
First
group
Reliance
out of
is a bank out of Florence, right? Yeah.
These folks, community banks are really popping up. How do y'all, and not to get off to community banks again, I'm sorry, we want to get into building bridges.
Yeah.
Share with the viewers what building bridges is all about. When did it kick off, and what's its mission?
Okay, Building Bridges is a cultural diversity program put on by the Florence Area Chamber of Commerce, and it is a program to promote the racial tension and help relieve racial tension and workplace issues, sexual orientation issues in the workplace, and that type of stuff. And it's this is the 7th year that they've had it, and it will be this year will be January the 23rd through February the 6th.
Okay.
The hours will be from 4 to 6 p.m. and it will be held at the Pointer Adult Education Center, which is on Dargan Street in Florence.
Great, at the Pointer Adult. And so Monday, January 23rd through February 27th, from 4 to 6 p.m.
That's correct.
Now, folks could call the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, they could call the Chamber of Commerce, and that number is 843-665-0515. Speak to Jerry Madison. Would be the lady that need to speak to there.
Jerry Madison's a critical one. Of course, Jerry had talked about originally coming down here, and she was great to get you lined up. We had Scotty Davis with us earlier in the week on Monday, talking about another Greater Florence Chamber of Commerce activity, Showbiz. It is amazing to think about. The Chamber has just got a lot going on right now.
Got a lot of things going on. They just finished the Mayfly, which was a very, very
how was
successful event this year, which they're looking for extremely bigger and better things next year with that. That's really taken a hold, and community's taking a hold of it, and the Chamber has done an excellent job with that.
Randy, so many viewers in the PD would know all about Mayfly, but for our viewers down here in Oree and Georgetown, what's Mayfly all about?
Mayfly is it's actually held out at the Florence Regional Airport.
Right.
They have stunt pilots come in. The truck that's run on the Thunder truck, I think, that runs so many miles an hour. And then they have all kind of stunt airplanes and booths and food set up, and it's a 2-day affair, and it's really been a good thing for the community.
You probably have folks coming in from all over the PD for that event.
I don't remember exactly the number, but several thousand that came last year. Yeah.
And what a great location to have it right there off of, what's that, 52?
Right there.
Yeah, easy location for lots of folks to find.
That's right, easy.
Now, do you have family with you there in Florence County?
I don't have any of, I have a brother lives in the Greenville area, and a sister lives in Florence area, and have a wife and 3 kids.
Is that right?
Yeah, 3 girls.
3 girls, wow. Randy, what was that like, raising girls?
I just get out the way, go upstairs, leave the rest of the house to them.
Oh, yeah. So you are thoroughly outnumbered. That's 4 to 1.
4 to 1, yeah. My oldest daughter just graduated from Francis Marion University. Matter of fact, starting a job next week with the Carolina Hospital System and Administration.
Great.
And my second daughter, Leah, is finishing up the dental technician school out
Right.
at Florence Star Tech, and she'll be through with that next week. And we've got to find her a job. And then my youngest daughter is Victoria. She's a rising 9th grade at Florence Christian School there in Florence.
How exciting, golly. Raising 3 girls, Randy.
Raising 3 girls.
Must have been very exciting. Of course, growing up as a boy, it's probably not a lot of. Now, did you have sisters? You said you had a sister.
Yeah, I have a sister who lives in Florence and 2 brothers, an older brother and a younger brother.
So, of course, you learned a little bit about girls' needs and things they get into from your sister, but probably nothing like being a dad of 3 girls.
Nothing like that, no.
Has there ever thought after the first girl was born, maybe the next will be a boy?
All 3 times they said it's going to be a boy. But,
oh, no.
Yeah, they did. But
the doctor duped you.
They duped me all 3 times, but we've enjoyed all 3 of them. Really have.
That is very exciting, yeah. I'm sure as you go to graduations now, recently at Francis Marion, at Florence Arlington Tech, and I guess in a few years you'll be going to a high school graduation and then probably another one after that.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. Have any of your girls thought about banking possibly?
Both of my older 2 worked some part-time last year as far as tellers and summer help and that type of stuff, but I wasn't insisting that they get into the banking business, and they really weren't that interested in it. But,
well, surely a hospital administration and a dental technician is a heck of a lot of need for that in the PD area as well as down here.
Right, yeah.
Just like need for volunteers to work with the Building Bridges program. And I think I saw, of course, they did it at the end of 2004 and around the September time period last year. Right now, y'all are preparing for this January 23rd kickoff of the next 6-week program. What are some of the things, and I understand you're on the committee there, the Building Bridges Committee.
Yeah.
Who are some of the other folks involved helping put this together? And of course, y'all's mission statement, I think I read that a little while back, but it's amazing to think this is a real effort there to cover a lot of bases.
It's some of the Pete Seiler, who works with Fox Television.
Pete Sealer, our Florence sales manager, yes.
Florence sales manager. And of course, Jerry Madison's on that board also. And Scotty is
Scotty Davis, who was with us on Monday.
He's on that board also, as well as Deb Howler and a couple more ladies. I don't know their names right now, but
sure. Not to put you on the spot, always, because I'm sure as a volunteer you serve on a lot of committees.
Yeah.
Randy, I don't want to put you on the spot there, but when we think about some of the potential benefits, maybe we could talk about some of those benefits. But who should attend these sessions, and maybe some of the info that folks will receive if they call, and they really need to call Jerry Madison, though.
Yeah, Jerry's the one that could sign them up and tell them what they need to do. It's a very minimal cost, $15 for the program. I mean, that's just
50. 15. Wow,
just,
for the 6 weeks.
For the
that's
6 weeks,
tremendous.
just really nothing but just to cover a little bit of paperwork. But we're wanting to get out and get to some of the to all of the civic clubs and have some of our people speak at the civic clubs and stress to them the need and let them know what Building Bridges is and what they're trying to do with Building Bridges. We're also trying to get into some of the churches to be able to speak to them and let them announce it and get it across to their people that we need to get them involved in it. It's very interesting and very it'll enlighten you as to what things go on in the community that you really don't know about.
And who should attend, Randy?
Anyone that's in the workplace, or not necessarily in the workplace, anybody that's in the community that really wants to get involved and try to change the way people think of one another and the way people think that things are in the community. If you get into this thing and start attending
these are roundtable discussions.
Yeah, you come in and you meet for about 15 minutes and everybody, and then you divide up into probably 6, 8, 10 people, and you have a facilitator that kind of keeps the discussion going, and some of them get pretty heated. I mean, some of the topics that they bring up will get under some people's skin, and if you're honest and say what's on your mind. You know, it can get very heated in there at times, but then in the end, it kind of works out, and they can see both people can see the other person's viewpoint, and you can see those people become friends before it's for the 6 weeks.
That's critical. You know, so oftentimes in the workplace, you may not be able to talk through some of those issues
Right.
because there be
Right. That's
retribution issues or otherwise, but
Right.
being in a setting with others of your peers as well as just anyone who everyone's invited to attend, everyone can sign up. You said $15.
Yeah, $15.
That's fantastic.
Try to hold it to 100 people. I'm sure that if we had more than 100, they would certainly make arrangements to let them attend.
Right.
The last session of the year is where we present the humanitarian award.
Great.
And it's usually someone that the people in the actual class that year nominate somebody, and then the committee picks the person, and that's usually an interesting session and then you have a meal that night and a little graduation type thing. So it's fun. That night's a lot of fun, and you get to sit around with the people and talk and discuss which was your favorite topic. And,
Right.
So
Probably very cathartic, very cleansing for folks having gone through
so,
discussions, as you say, you know, gender orientation issues or sexual issues, discrimination issues or otherwise, race issues that are so critical in our environment, whether it's in the PD area or down here or southeastern North Carolina. Of course, Robeson County, one of our coverage area counties, has the most diverse county in North Carolina, with a very large Native American population, a very large African American population, and a Caucasian. You know, when we think about counties like that, as well as Florence County, which has a very large African American population, a real need to make sure that those communication lines are open.
We and that's why the chamber is doing this, and we need to have the community grasp this thing and come out and make it a success again this year.
Randy, speaking of success, I think in the past I've seen either Jerry or someone had said that y'all have surpassed 500 people having attended the Building Bridges workshops, and this has been going on quite a while.
Like I said a while ago, I think this is the 7th year, and we're pushing it a little more this year. We want putting a lot more emphasis in getting it out to the public, for them to see, and advertisements and that type of stuff as to when it's going to be held, and so people can make plans toward coming to the sessions. Our bank, Anderson Brothers Bank, is going to be one of the corporate sponsors of Building Bridges, and also we have PD Food Services, which is a division of PepsiCo Bottling in Florence, is also a corporate sponsor, and we're looking for one more corporate sponsor.
Good. So there's a corporate sponsorship opportunity available.
One more, and then we're going to have some, I guess you'd call them junior sponsors that we're looking towards getting probably 6 more of those. But we're well on our way towards the amount of money we need. We just about got that in the first session we had the other day as far as a meeting.
That's tremendous. You mind me asking what the sponsorship costs, the main sponsorship cost?
The main sponsor, corporate sponsor, $600.
Okay.
And you get, I think Pete did up a little survey, a little printout as to the
benefits that a sponsor would get.
The sponsor would get out of it, and it was like about $18,000.
No way. For $600 cash donation?
Yeah, because we're going to be on 6 billboards, a lot of brochures, TV, radio, and so that's a lot of exposure for.
That's tremendous. I better sign up. Anderson Brothers Bank signed up.
Yeah.
PD Food Service through Pepsi-Cola Bottling, a company LLC there of Florence.
That's correct.
Critical, you know, when you think about good, long-established PD businesses like that, someone's going to jump on that.
Yeah, and then the call it the junior sponsors is $300. So,
okay.
And they get about $9,000 worth of exposure out of that $300. So it's a good thing, not only for the exposure for the companies, but also for the community, for them to put their money in that for the chamber.
Randy, I think you said the participants of the Building Bridges program decide on a humanitarian award for one person. Didn't you all also do that through and vote on within the group? You all also did that in Leadership Florence as well. I think I saw somebody you and I know won that award. Who pulled that off this year?
I don't know who pulled that off.
Oh, that's right. It's tough to say. You were the winner out of the 32. How did y'all go about? We got less than a minute. How did y'all decide that?
It was actually voted upon by the class members as to who
Tremendous.
I think they call it the outstanding participant of Leadership Florence, and didn't have a whole lot of people that was outstanding. I don't guess because I ended up with it, but I appreciated it and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the Leadership Florence program a lot. Sure did.
Randy, if you were not at Anderson Brothers Bank there in Florence as the city exec, what do you think you'd be doing?
Gosh, I don't know. I've been in the banking business a little over 25 years, been in and out of it 2 times. I went into the clothing store business 1 time, left, and went into actually left banking because of a buyout situation with a bank, and went into F&I at a car dealership, and couldn't wait to get back in banking, and been back in it now probably about 16 years. So.
That's great. Wouldn't know. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Randy Altman coming up next. You got to get that dialogue going, changing attitudes and hearts. It's so critical. A program like this, a 6-week program kicking off January 23rd, running on Mondays from 4 to 6 p.m. until February 27th, it's critical you make the call, 843-665-0515. Ask for Jerry Madison, 843-665-0515. Again, Mondays from 4 to 6 p.m., January 23rd through February 27th. We talk about Leadership Florence and getting in there, but they've already wrapped up the applications. They've got more than enough people signed up for next year's event that kicks off very soon. Take the time to think seriously about building bridges. It's a program that's going to be there. It's been here 6 years, and they've got now going into the 7th year. It's critical. You get involved. We've got to open up that dialogue. We've got to mend some of the relationships that are out there that need to be mended. There's serious issues that need to be addressed. You can only do them in a setting like this. Take the time to give her a call, 665-0515.